Zazu, take Nala home. And Nala's like, ooh, you're in trouble. And he's like, Mufasa or Simba, walk with me. And he's like, Dad, I'm sorry. He's like, I'm very disappointed in you. And he starts like very stern with that James Earl Jones voice. But the scene is so beautiful because he's saying, you know, I could have lost you. He makes it very clear, like, I'm being stern with you and I'm calling you to task and I'm calling you to more because I care about you. I care about your safety. I care about you and who you're the man you're growing into or the lion you're growing into, as it may be. And by the end of that conversation, Simba's like, we're still pals, right? And Mufasa and him like start wrestling playfully and like giggling and laughing. And I was like, wow, like what a robust vision of like the father-son relationship, and what like a vision of God the Father, who like can be stern with us and does call us to task because he loves us and he wants the best for us, and he sees the harmful things that we're doing that hurt ourselves and hurt other people. But you know, at the end of the day, like he wants to like, you know, wrestle with us in the grass, like, cause he's our dad, you know, and he loves us. And there's this great tenderness, between Mufasa and Simba. And I just, it really, really spoke to my heart. Do you remember that scene?
Oh, of course I remember that scene.
Yeah.
And that's that's beautiful. The father's heart, that's kind of been a theme of my first year of mission. Just knowing the father's love. Like, we view the Old Testament God as like different than the New Testament God for some reason, but it's the same God. And those acts of like punishment or judgment in the Old Testament are actually, if you understand the context, like supreme acts of mercy and love, and just and like, the Father just yearns to just embrace you.
Yes. Amen.
And embrace me. And I love it.
You're speaking my language. I taught Old Testament for a long time, and that was a constant stumbling block, because to the 21st century mind, the Old Testament God does look kind of angry. And I said, we got to take off our 21st century glasses. We got to put on our Old Testament glasses and see that when they thought of gods, exactly like that. And the kids would roll their eyes. But like the Old Testament gods, you know, they were thinking of like Zeus and Ra, and they were like not good fathers, you know. They were just like superhuman bullies kind of, whereas like the God of the Old Testament, like he walks with his people, and yes, there's consequences for their actions, there is punishments, but like he always accepts them. And like when they leave the garden and they have to leave the garden, like God provides them with like better clothes. And like when Cain kills Abel, like God puts protection on him afterwards. And like at Sodom and Gomorrah, when like people think, oh, that's God throwing fire and brimstone, like that's literally where the term fire and brimstone comes from. But you look at what God's trying to do there. It's a story about God's patience. And Abraham's asking, like, what if there's innocent people in that town? He's like, well, if there's 50 innocent people, I won't kill it. And he walks them all the way down to like one innocent person. And then the only innocent person he can find in the town is Lot, who then you read the story and you're like, Lot's not that innocent. Like Lot's not that great of a guy. And then he has to like force him to leave. And the whole it's like 2 chapters of God bending over backwards, trying to save somebody who's like just not all the way corrupt. And what does the Old Testament say about God? It's like, he is kind and merciful, slow to anger, abounding in kindness. And if you look at it with these Old Testament glasses, it's like God's mercy just permeates the whole Old Testament. And then you get to Jesus and it's like, oh man.
I take my time, flex like whoa. I take my time, just let's go. I take my time, flex like whoa. Tell them bado. I take my time, flex like whoa. I take my time, just let's go. I take my time, flex like whoa. Tell them